Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I am the great and peaceful Mr. E.
And I'm Jay.
And I actually just thought of an idea.
What's that?
You know, this is completely off the cuff. This is the first time we've recorded in the evening in a long, long time.
In years.
I mean, it's been a while. I don't know if years, but it's
Might be.
been a long time. I guess since Ronald McDonald last year.
I guess you're right, yeah.
We did record
Maybe
a couple
year.
up there.
It's been a while since we recorded here
Here.
at night.
Yeah, a long time. So probably 2-3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, hi guys. My idea was that maybe the Freaky Fauna Friday crew will make an appearance at the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree. And the kids' tent speakers.
Oh. Oh, that sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree, what's that?
It's a Bigfoot festival in Ada, Ohio.
Wow. When?
Tickets come on sale March 15th, and it's October 4th.
In Ada, Ohio.
And I know we're going to do at least one presentation. There's a free family room with speakers, presenters, all kinds of information and stuff. I know one we're going to do is about Bigfoot foot morphology. Just kind of break down, because that's always fun, because the kids come up and touch the cast, and we'll bring some animal stuff. And
sounds neat.
Maybe if I get that Gigantopithecus skull, we'll do one for that.
Freaky Fauna Friday?
Like in person, we'll do a little 15-20 minute thing and with the Gigantopithecus skull.
Sounds like a great idea.
Because we've done Gigantopithecus on here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was one of the early ones. All right, so today's Freaky Fauna is an American native true survivor. The American alligator.
Wow.
Wow. Now, I just told you all the types of crocodilians about 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Can you remember them?
Caimans.
Yeah.
Gharials.
Yes.
Crocodiles.
Yes.
Alligators.
Yes.
And American alligators. Oh, darn it. I was going so good. Is that all of them?
No.
I missed one.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what it is.
False gharials.
Oh, come on. It can't count that.
Do you know what a gharial is?
It's got the long...
The really,
long
the paper
snout.
thin nose.
Yeah.
The paper thin, like...
Caiman's got long ones too, but not this...
Caiman are like little alligators.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
False gharials have a thin snout too,
Uh-huh.
but not that extreme.
Hmm.
So it's still very thin, but not like that, where you can actually...
A little different, but...
Gharials can get hurt in captivity very easily from hitting their nose on stuff, and they'll actually break their jaw.
Wow.
So false gharials aren't that sensitive, but they're not like a crocodile or an alligator.
Okay.
So they're kind of in between. That's why they call them false gharials. Just because when you look at them, they kind of look like a gharial.
Right.
But yeah, the American alligator. Alligators, as a whole, are members of the crocodilian family, which includes crocodiles, caimans, alligators, and there's a bunch more, like the false gharials and gharials, depending on how you put them in the family tree. Like, American alligators are kind of an outlier for a lot of the family tree.
Ah.
They're pretty old. These cold-blooded reptiles inhabit wetland areas, and they can grow up anywhere from 6 to 11 feet, with records and historic remarks putting them between 16 and 18 feet in length.
Dang.
With a couple saying they may have gotten 20 feet in length.
That's pretty big.
Which I firmly believe they probably did get 20 feet in length.
Well, everything back in the day was bigger.
I mean, we'll tell you why there's probably no 20-footers now, because they had a pretty hard history.
Okay.
Because they got down to around 2,000 alligators in North America.
Yeah, that's not that many, is it?
No.
That's nearly functionally extinct.
There's a lake I fish in Arkansas that has 4,000 alligators in the lake.
Jeez.
So the whole U.S. population was half of what the lake has in it now.
Okay, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's estimation, right?
Yeah, I mean, because they thought they were extinct. They really did.
Dang. Hey, that's good they're not.
The American alligator, like I said, can be found anywhere from Louisiana to Florida. Though they were mostly thought to be extinct through most of the range. Today, they are no longer even endangered. Instead thriving in bayous, lakes, rivers, even golf courses and home divisions.
Yep, that's true.
These guys have gone from like borderline extinction
to everywhere
to cats.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I mean, they're really good climbers. There's only The only other species of extinct alligator extent alligator is the Chinese alligator. So the only true alligator.
Hmm.
There are other crocodilians that have the name alligator,
Yeah.
but are not true alligators. It's
Okay.
like eel. Like when we talk about
Right, right,
eels,
right.
electric eels aren't eels.
Yeah, yeah. Same
Uh,
kind of concept.
yeah. So even though there are crocodilians with the other name of alligator,
Uh-huh.
they're probably caiman,
Hmm.
which is a different order.
Just okay. But not an alligator is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it just
Okay.
they just get called an alligator because they look kind of similar.
Yeah.
Genetically talking, though, they are very different animals.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, Chinese alligator in the Yangtze River. That alligator is critically endangered, and they may be threatened to be extinct in the next decade.
Ooh, hopefully they have the bounce back like ours did.
Yeah, alligators, especially compared to other crocodilians, are much more. We'll talk about their diet and stuff like that. Why they were able to do this because we do have American crocodiles as well,
Okay.
and they were also almost hunted to extinction, and they still have never really bounced back
Oh, okay.
because they're very different animals.
Right. Then the crocodile or then
Yeah.
the alligators.
Yeah. They have glow in the dark eyes, but this I mean that we shine a light on their eyes, they reflect. It's a good way to count alligators at night.
Eye shine.
Yep. Their scientific name is Alligatoridae.
Nice. It's like salamander.
Yeah. Average lifespan in the wild, we kind of estimate it between 50 and 60 years, with some special individuals hitting 80 to 100 years in the wild. And then in captivity, the average lifespan is 60 to 80 years, with one hitting 135 years in captivity.
Dang.
Rough estimate. Because when he came into captivity, I believe he was in captivity for 80 years,
Oh, geez.
and he came into captivity as an adult.
Well, yeah. I mean, 135. Oh, so they're guesstimating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just based off of growth rates and, so he came in as a full-grown alligator.
Yeah, and then
And
stayed
he lived
for
for
80
a
years.
long time. I actually got to meet him one time.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you
when I
take
was a little
pictures?
kid. I'm sure that mom and dad have pictures. We went to all the alligator parks when we were in Florida when we were tiny kids.
Oh, nice.
I'll share my alligator story. I'll share 2 alligator stories. I shouldn't be here. The red list, they are now least concerned. They are one of the poster childs for conservation,
Okay.
going from what was thought to be extinct due to overhunting for the Italian leather industry
Mm-hmm.
to bouncing back, going all the way from almost extinct to least concern, which is the other way.
Right. The other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. That's really cool. They're really cool. The American alligator population now, we're estimating with adults, there is anywhere from 750,000 to 1.1 million mature adults in the U.S.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of bounce back.
Now, compare this to the Chinese cousins. There's only about 86 mature adults left.
Oh, so they're done.
They're very close. The captivity,
mean-
there's a lot more of them in captivity than there is in
Ooh, that's not
the
good.
wild.
Can we get adopt a couple and put them in the backyard?
Now, alligator farms
Uh huh.
are another big reason why alligators bounce back here in the U.S.
Uh huh.
Because they just started farming them in leather because it got so hard.
Yeah.
And now a lot of alligator farms, they don't do it as much anymore, but when there was problem areas, they would give half of the hatchlings back to put out to somewhere.
Hmm.
So
That's
that
pretty
helped.
cool. Yeah.
They as far as captivity, crocodilians are very hard to keep in captivity, including zoos and stuff like that. American alligators are probably about the easiest going.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't mean they're easy going.
No, right.
Just
but
the easiest going of the group.
of the gators.
Yeah. Alligators are ancient, as well as all crocodilian forms, but alligators themselves have undergone very, very little evolutionary change since the time of the dinosaurs. Do you want to know? You want to guess how old the true American alligator is from the fossil record?
Oh gosh. 1.8 million years.
No, they bigger.
2 billion.
Okay, now we went from no trees, or we went from, yeah. Anyways, 84 million years, about the middle of the dinosaurs' reign.
Oh, okay. So I was closer to my first one.
But now you maybe laugh. Depending on what scientist you talk to, it's either their direct ancestor
Mm-hmm.
or the actual American alligator itself
Oh,
may have evolved 200 million years ago.
wow.
There are
okay.
fossils from that group that are either very, very close cousins that the American alligator came right out of, or they are American alligators.
Yeah. Huh.
The only other reptiles that are older than them, as far as the true fossil record, as in the true species, are turtles and tortoises.
Nice. Okay.
There are a couple species of turtles and tortoises that have rocked a little bit longer numbers of being one species.
Yeah.
And the bowfin is a fish,
Oh.
but bowfin rock the same stuff.
So they were all around at the same
Yeah,
time.
I mean, they
Like,
still hang out together.
that's insane. That's
Alligator
just a bu
Alligator Gar fall in that group too.
Oh, wow.
If you just take a picture of Louisiana swamp,
Yeah.
it's been like that for 200 million years.
Consistency.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
it's just because those animals, because they're tough animals. Because
That's a good body
swamps,
plan.
those swamps dry up, they flood, they do all this stuff. So the animals in there have to be highly adaptable.
Right, yeah, and it's
Uh,
hard to move in when something else already fills that niche so
mhm.
well.
And it's a lot of swamp life is like feast and famine.
Mhm.
So the animals are really good. Like bowfin can go like 8 months without eating. Alligator gar can go for almost a year, and American alligators, the big adults, can go well over a year and a half without eating.
Dang, okay.
So these animals can basically sit in a puddle
Yeah,
and just kind of stay moist
and wait.
and wait, for when these like mass extinction events happen.
Right, yeah.
One thing they don't do very well is saltwater. Now, you may see an American alligator every once in a while in some brackish water or maybe even actual saltwater. If they don't like it,
I was gonna say it was an
doesn't
accident.
feel good,
Yeah,
and they are moving. A
yeah,
lot of times they get lost or disoriented, especially around the shipping canals and stuff like that.
yeah.
Uh, they die pretty quick.
That would suck to wind up there by accident.
Yeah, they can die pretty quick.
Ooh,
They will hunt right up to the edge, though.
yeah.
They literally had to tell where the tide is where all the alligators are laying in the water
Oh, okay.
because they'll kind of follow the saltwater line up and down. They have all these pores on their snout that both sense
Senses it.
pressure, fish. They actually kind of do smell with it,
Hmm.
but that salinity is another thing they sense. How big do you think they can get? Like, how much do you think they can weigh?
Oh, way? Because you
Mhm.
said earlier, like, what, 6 to 11 feet, something like that,
Yeah,
average?
it's average. So I'll tell you that there is a historic precedences of what people said how big of alligators they killed.
Okay.
So what do you think the largest American alligator we have an accurate measurement of?
Oh, gosh. 16 feet.
Right at 16 feet.
Oh, what a guess.
Just a couple inches shy, but they kind of say he could be either way. He wasn't cooperating very nicely.
Hmm.
Keep in mind, he's a pickup truck. He's as big as a pickup truck.
Bigger.
Uh,
Bigger than mine.
Want to guess how much he weighed?
Gosh, I'm not good at this. Let's see here. 1,300 pounds.
Very close to 1,100.
Oh, okay. Shot a little too big. But
Historically
close.
speaking, there are American alligators that were probably bigger than him.
Uh-huh.
He's just the one that they could hold down.
Okay.
And he was a park animal from Alabama.
Oh, okay.
So he was used to kind of being put into an alligator box and
Okay.
kind of messed with.
So, yeah, he wasn't going to lash out, go crazy.
Yeah. There were other gators that have, like I said, have been much bigger. Some 17, some 18, and even one that was 20 feet long. It was claimed
Monster.
that officials in the 1800s had measured and had put in a paper. So we don't really know if that's true or embellishment. I feel it's true. I feel they can get 20 feet.
Yeah.
I feel in the right conditions, undetermined growth rate, undetermined lifestyle. If they're underneath a slaughterhouse and they just eat for the next 40 years,
Right, yeah.
they will get 20 feet long. Another interesting fact, sex is determined by
I don't
temperature.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Most crocodilians, but this is kind of the famous one for alligators. One of the wilder facts, alligators' sex is determined not by their DNA at all, rather by the climate and the temperature their eggs are incubated in.
Huh.
The temperature in the baby alligator nest is warm. More males will be born, to almost exclusively males. When it's colder, more females will be born, or if it's cold enough, more exclusively females will be born.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Is that their freaky fauna attribute?
That's a super one.
Yeah.
That and all crocodilians have nest building behaviors
Okay.
to varying different degrees, and semi-parental protection, depending on which animal you're talking about.
Yeah.
Gharials, father gharials will carry their babies around on their backs.
Okay.
The American alligator is often credited to put the most effort into nest making. Maybe not as much aftercare as like a gharial would be, but some of these alligators build extremely massive mounds.
Yeah.
They take a lot of work, and they'll actually start sticking their jaws in to sense temperatures to see where they want to put their eggs.
Huh.
So basically making a compost pile
Right, yeah.
to self-incubate.
That's pretty impressive.
So yeah, they put in a lot. Mother alligators are highly aggressive and highly protective of their eggs. So if you get bit because you're messing around an alligator's nest, like that guy that got killed in Blue Springs,
Yeah.
I felt horrible for the alligator because it's one we've seen every year, a big female, because she made her nest right there.
And he was right on it.
He dived right up to her, and then
Yeah.
she killed him, and
Yeah.
then she got euthanized because Florida has a zero strike policy.
Mhm.
Don't mess with an alligator.
Right, yeah, get out of their
It's an
territory.
alligator.
Right.
But I cannot tell you how many times in Florida I've just seen people think they're not they're just big lizards,
Or cats, like you said earlier.
and people will walk up to them and poke them with I'm like, that is an animal that survived the dinosaurs' mass
Yeah.
extinction.
If it grabs on any part of you, it will take it with it.
Uh, Here's another freaky fact for you. They are really fast runners.
Hmm.
Even at large sizes.
Hmm.
They can get moving. Now, big alligators often don't run very fast, but if they want to, they can. So keep in mind, the only reason they're not running you down is because they don't want to.
Is that myth true? You gotta run away from them
No.
at angles?
No,
Oh, okay.
they're not going to chase you.
So it does work.
I mean, they're just not. It's just not an alligator. Anyways, I don't think an alligator has the soul unless you've really upset it.
To follow you in a zigzag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to follow you.
Okay.
You want to guess how fast they can run? How fast they've been clocked?
15 miles an hour.
No, faster.
Oh, wow. 20?
Faster than Usain Bolt.
What? For how long, though?
No, that's not. I didn't ask that.
I mean, I could be faster than Usain Bolt
No, you can't.
in a 0.1 second.
A cheetah can only do it for 9 seconds, but doesn't matter when it's going 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, I have 1 second. I could do it. I like fall fast enough. I'll do it.
No, I don't think you can fall faster than Usain Bolt can run. Anyways, 35 miles an hour.
Dang. Okay.
A lot of times they can lunge up to 30 miles an hour and immediately reach a speed of 35 miles an hour for short distances.
That's insane. I never knew that.
They're not endurance runners, but they can run about 3 times faster than the average human.
Like short speed, short bursts. Yeah.
But it's very rare, and most of the time this is only seen when they want to get away.
Okay. Not for attack.
Yeah. The lunge is more for attack because they're ambush predators, but the running, like, if they're scared, they'll run. Alligators' eyes are on top of their head, so at night they glow in the dark. You shine a flashlight out there, you can see all the alligators. They actually kind of glow red.
Hmm.
Ain't that fun?
I don't really recall that.
What?
The redness.
Depends on the light, and it depends on the alligator. I've seen yellow, green, and I've seen a couple times of it red.
Okay.
I've been around a lot of alligators at night fishing on piers,
Yeah.
and it depends on your flashlight heavily.
Okay.
They prefer meat, but they aren't opposed to fruit, is my next little fact.
Hmm.
They're pretty omnivorous. They really don't care.
I figured
They're like big raccoons with their
Huh.
diet. They really like fish, and they really like turtles. That's
Yeah.
their preferred diets. So unlike most of the other crocodilian cousins, alligators, which get the second largest of the crocodilians, aside from the 2 crocodiles, they almost always hunt prey much smaller than them.
Okay.
When most crocodiles, like saltwater Nile crocodiles, hunt prey many times larger than themselves.
Anything.
They'll eat small stuff too, but
Yeah.
they're like saltwater crocodiles and Nile crocodiles are designed to hunt big mammals,
Like water
big
buffalo.
things.
And, yeah. Tigers.
Alligators get pretty much the same size, and they almost exclusively eat smaller things.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
So, like, that's why they tell kids never to crouch around water in Florida
Mm-hmm.
because it makes their bodies look a lot smaller, like raccoons.
Oh, okay. So the alligator's more prone
They're
to.
like, that's a raccoon. And then once you stand
Yeah.
up and you're tall, like, that's not a food source.
Yeah.
One of their only real predators is crocodiles down there in Florida.
That
I've
makes
seen a
sense.
video of an alligator running. These people thought the alligator was chasing them, and they're freaking out. They're on a golf course. There's like 6-foot alligators booking it at them. And then over this hill, this monster saltwater crocodile comes
Chasing it.
flying after it.
Jeez. Yeah, that would suck.
Like he's running too.
Yeah.
No, it's still meat makes up the bulk of their diet. But they eat amphibians, bugs, small fish, snakes, turtles, birds, mammals. They'll eat anything. Fruit and veggies. They've been seen to eat pretty much. They really don't care, but they're mostly carnivorous. Seeds, legumes. They've been seen to eat. They eat French fries. They really like French fries.
That's fun. Well, who doesn't? You know.
Yeah.
Come on.
They really thrive in slow-moving waters. While they can navigate major waters like the Mississippi, they often prefer slow-moving rivers, creeks, marshes, swamps, and lakes. They are often found in. They can be in deep waters, especially during the breeding season, because the way they kind of breed in the water, males are often many times larger than the females.
Okay.
So their breeding maneuvers require some depth.
Okay. And you just need to be in water for the buoyancy?
No, just for the positioning.
Ah, okay.
Because males are like 4 times larger than females.
Isn't it usually the other way around?
Depends on the species.
I guess you're right.
It really depends on the animal.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's about I don't know.
Fish,
Could go either way.
fish, most of the time it's going to be females, but there's still fish that are exceptions to that rule.
Right, yeah.
Especially if it's like it can depend on who's the nest guardian,
Right,
who's
true.
a territorial guardian, that kind of stuff. Like both, and it doesn't matter, but so fish make it pound per pound of eggs. So the females want to be heavier. Males don't have to leave the water. Females have to get out and construct these massive nests.
Hmm.
So it pays to be smaller because you got to get out of the water and actually do
Oh.
stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of one of the drawbacks. American alligators can go through over 3,000 teeth in their lifetime,
That's pretty crazy too.
and they can bite up to nearly 3,000 pounds per square inch,
Pretty strong.
making them one of the most powerful bites of any living animal, and almost one of the most powerful bites of any animal in history that we know of.
Okay.
Because there's kind of a jumping off point once you get to like 3 to 4,000 pounds per square inch.
As far as
Because then like the next animals are like 40,000 pounds per square
like a
inch.
huge jump.
Yeah, because it's T-Rexes and megalodons.
Right.
And,
Gigantic animals.
yeah, animals that have the size, their jaws are the size of trucks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. They are very caring for their young, unlike most reptiles. For up to 2 years, female alligators care and look after their babies, making sure they're safe and well fed. By this, I mean, most of the time, they will live in the female's territory. Up the first couple months, she's a lot more protective. They'll do their little clicking calls to
Okay.
kind of summon her.
Okay.
Birds are bugging them, stuff like that. We're year one and going into year two, she's much more relaxed on actually caring for that last brood of chicks.
Hmm.
Not saying she won't, but they're pretty big at that point.
Yeah.
They're a foot long.
They're about to the point where they can almost take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alligators can spend months in gator holes.
Hmm.
So alligators don't hibernate, but they do go through a dormancy period during cold months. Before going dormant, most of the time they use their feet and snouts to dig deep burrows called gator holes. These are depressions like in tunnels and mud on the riverbanks. Gator holes, the biggest one a human's ever gone into, are 65 feet deep.
What? Okay, I didn't expect that.
You never seen that video of an Australian crocodile, saltwater crocodile?
I don't think so.
There's literally like this tree, and it's not a big tree. It's like a 15-foot tall tree, and it has a hole with water in it. And you see this little tiny tip of a crocodile tail sticking out.
Okay.
Water, like little, like it's a decent hole and a slide. And they're like, "Whoa, this little crocodile's got a hole dug for himself." And they pick up just the edge of the tail, and it's like a foot and a half tall. So it's like a 15, 16-foot saltwater crocodile.
Yeah.
And then he just
Let it
lifts
go.
up and disappears deeper in.
Oh, in the hole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like he's completely, because it was in the dry season.
But 65?
Yeah. So they brumate. Basically, they kind of make a safety period. During their brumation periods, they can last up to 5 months. Their heart rate and metabolism slows way down. They continue to breathe through their snout. They will often stick slightly out of the water. This is common in northern territories of their habitat range.
Okay.
And if they can sense a flash freeze coming, they won't go for their den. They will literally sit in the water and buoy and just stick their nose out of the water to freeze. They're the loudest reptile in the world.
Ooh, loudest?
Yeah. You ever heard their mating calls?
I mean, is it the big, like, deep bellowing?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Goes up to 90 decibels,
Dang, okay.
which is as loud as a lawnmower.
Okay.
So humans normally top out at 70 decibels.
What, like us screaming?
Like as loud as a human can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 70 decibels.
Okay.
So they're 20 decibels louder than us. Alligators, they eat their young.
Cannibals.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
while the mom most of the time won't do that, other mothers, and especially males, will seek out other alligators.
Oh. Why are they doing that?
Well, think about it. It's food source, competition relief, all those factors.
They're just trimming the fat.
Yeah, I mean they're hungry.
Yeah, I get it. I've been there before. I guess I've eaten alligator. Not that I've eaten, anything else. Been that hungry, eat whatever. But I have eaten alligator, and I'll tell you what, I didn't like it.
My last little fact for you: alligator's blood is antibiotic and antiviral.
Oh, wow.
A study found that wild alligator blood has both antibiotic and antiviral properties. In fact, it's active against HIV-1, West Nile virus, hepatitis simplex virus. These properties are also helping protect the alligators themselves from infection after injuries. So far, their blood has only been studied in a lab and is not being used for any human medicines as of yet.
Hmm.
So this is like, you ever seen like an alligator get their leg ripped off by another alligator?
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
And they never get infected.
Yeah, I
Nobody
guess
can figure it out.
it's their blood.
The only time I've ever seen an alligator with an infection, or a crocodilian in general, is impacted teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because they fall out.
Right.
And so if they get stuck sideways in the gap,
They don't fall out.
the other teeth will keep ramming into it.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So normally they bite stuff hard enough, they'll knock it out. They'll
Mm.
break it. They break their teeth all the time.
Yeah.
In captivity, it's more of a problem
Mm.
because they're being fed and taken care of. So they're not really holding on to a water buffalo or a pig
Right.
and sitting there and, drowning it.
The natural opportunity to break one off.
Yeah. Or to crush it, pulverize it.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, because you're just throwing them half a pig. But yeah, that's been the American alligator. I'll tell you, I know it's going long. This is a warm up. Couple quick stories. I was almost murdered by an American alligator. He didn't murder me because out of the kindness of his heart.
Well, and you're still here, so
Yeah, so he was a good alligator.
good sign that you survived.
I've told you that story, right?
Well, it depends which one. You got
Well,
two.
I've done a lot of alligator stuff.
I know which two you're talking about, so which one's this one?
This is the one behind the hotel, and I was probably 10 years old with a little fish net, and the hotel had said there's an alligator. It was like named Fred or something like that, and that they would feed it. And my dad thought they were joking
Yeah.
because there's like a big lake and this little pond.
Yeah.
So dad's fishing in the lake, and I'm playing in the little pond. And there's an alligator, he has turtles on his back, and I'm trying to like net the turtles. So I'm literally beating this alligator with a net.
Yeah.
My dad looks over and sees me just whacking this alligator.
Yeah.
But the alligator, as far as I remember, I was probably 10, never once acted any way aggressively towards me. And I'm sitting here whacking him with a stick.
He probably enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, the turtles were on his back. He was well fed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, because it was literally like the little bar restaurant from the hotel
They're probably
was
feeding
right
him,
there.
They're feeding him all day.
I'm standing by the dock
Yeah.
for that thing. So he was fed. He was a well taken care of alligator. My second story. So we went to all the alligator parks. And this was, I can't remember if it was an alligator or a crocodile now. I was probably 8. And this is one of those guys, I wish I could find him, that gave me one of my loves for wildlife.
Okay.
So we go to this guy's, we want to go to these alligator parks. We go to the one of the famous one, like Gatorland or something like that, which they're fine. It just, they were too big. They were booked like solid, or we couldn't afford it. I can't remember. So dad had stopped at a gas station and somebody said, well, there's another one local. It's a smaller thing, but you can go to it. So we pass. I remember it looked like my grandma's house in the front, like it's a house.
Okay.
And we're passing. Dad finally stops and he knocks on the door and he's like, is there an alligator park like here? And the guy's like, yeah, it's in the back. I live in the front. And he's like, oh, okay. So let me, it charges like $10.
Yeah.
So he walks us around and there's fenced, like there's probably 5 or 6 lakes that are fenced in. And we go right into one of these fences and the guy's talking and he's talking to me and he's just like, well, you guys ready to feed an alligator? And you're like, what? So he's like, yeah, he grabs my hand and it goes to a bucket and there's whole chickens.
Yeah.
And he's like, you just stand right here beside me. I'm like 8. Okay.
Yeah.
And this guy takes this chicken. My dad and mom are thinking it's going to be like a little 4-foot alligator.
Yeah.
Okay. He slaps the water. And I think it was a crocodile. And this like 12, 13-foot crocodile comes flying out, grabs the chicken.
Jeez.
And just laying there. I'm like a foot from this thing.
Right in front of
And
you.
I'm just sitting there all happy.
Like, woo, look
and
at
he's
it.
like, and he's just sitting there trying to choke it back. And he's just like, wait right here. And he left me and Dad's like freaking out and gives me a chicken. And I just throw the chicken to this thing and it's all happy.
Yeah.
And we walked around. We fed all these gators. We played all day.
Nice.
All day. The guy was amazing.
So you found the gator farm.
Oh gosh, but mom was freaking out
I bet.
because very low security.
Yeah.
And I think it's still there. I think Dad looked it up a couple of years ago. I don't think it's the same guy because he was elderly then.
Yeah.
But man, he had a lot of fun.
We're talking 20 years ago, right?
Gosh, yeah, I guess 30. Yeah, so
Roughly, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's no, I don't think I've heard that one before.
I mean, there's others.
Right, but
I've been around a lot of alligators.
Yeah.
Alligators are, if you're gonna mess with any of the crocodiles, which you shouldn't, in lines of work and stuff like that, alligators are probably about the chillest. They're it's their food drive, right? You know, they're eating mostly small things.
Right, yeah.
So for us, it's more of a threat attack than anything.
Them food.
Yeah, you see, most alligator attacks in the U.S. are them biting people from being from being fed because they get habituated, or it's around nest sites. It's almost always breeding season in Florida.
Yeah.
Because people, it's a lot of tourists that just kayak.
They don't know.
I told you the one that same one that got euthanized. Those kayakers were like, look, it's wagging its tail and hissing.
Yeah.
And it flew out of mouth open, and the lady fell in and didn't bite her. It should. I mean, it could have.
It could have easily, yeah.
Yeah, it's. All right, guys. Alligators. One of the coolest, at least one I have a long history with. They're really cool. They've been around forever. They were pretty much wiped out. Like I said, they got down to less than 2,000 individuals in all of the U.S. Due to overhunting for Italian leather.
But they're back.
But they were one of the first conservation efforts by the U.S. And they almost canceled the conservation effort because I believe it didn't work for 20 years.
Oh, geez.
Because they kill all the adults.
Yeah.
So it takes them a while to get to breeding size.
Right, yeah.
And then once they started breeding again,
it was off to the races.
Boomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they boomed good. All right, guys, I've been the Great and Peaceful Mystery.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.